It had gone, I had almost lost consciousness. I didn't know how many times the car went around, but I know it was going around, and I was just praying, God save my life. This car is gone. There's no way I'm coming out of this, but if you could just save my life.
Welcome to Moving Miracles, the testimony channel. Moving Miracles is a platform to share God's miraculous works in the lives of people.
My name is Dunsi Oluwashiji, and together with Opeolu Akinwande, we'll be sharing stories of God's greatness. We're beginning with Nigeria, and soon we'll go all over the world to share testimonies of how God has been impacting the lives of His people worldwide.
Do you know what the greatest miracle to exist is? The scientists call it the Big Bang, but we call it God's creation story from the book of Genesis. How God was able to create everything from nothing. If that could be done, every other thing at least within it is possible. So you're 40, this big day in history.
Yeah.
Could you share something miraculous God has done in your life?
Well, I think the first big miracle is that this project is starting today. And of course, I thank God for the gift of life, making this possible, reconnecting us so that we could bring this great work to God's people. So that's the first big miracle. And then talking about miracles and the gift of life, I remember a few years back, I went to say hello to a friend of mine around the Yaba area of Lagos, Nigeria. And I was driving back, in one ox-blooded color Camry like that. So I was driving down, and if you know Lagos very well, you know an area called 7-Up. I didn't take the U-turn. I was going around Alausa, Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria as well. So I didn't take the U-turn. I kept on driving down. I took an alternate route to my house. And just as I passed the 7-Up area, I heard a voice in my head saying, slow down. Now, it's not been many times that I have heard God speak like that to me, but this time I just heard it clearly, slow down. And I used to drive really fast then. I may have been going around 100, 120, but I remember deliberately slowing down to around 60. And then there's this area that everybody knows in Nigeria called the Otedola Bridge. It's known for a couple of accidents here and there. So when I got around Otedola Bridge, despite slowing down, the car I was driving just began to spin. It began to spin. And in my head, I was just praying, God, this car is gone. But would you please just save my life? Because I was thinking where it was happening, the car could flip over the bridge and go straight down, to the underpass. So in my head, I was just like, this car is gone, but God, please, would you just save my life? And it was just a miracle that at the right place, just as the car was about going over that railing down to the underpass, there was just this ditch that held the back tire of the car and held the car down. It had gone, I had almost lost consciousness. I didn't know how many times the car went around, but I know it was going around, and I was just praying, God save my life. This car is gone. There's no way I'm coming out of this, but if you could just save my life. And so this car stopped right there, and then I opened the door and I stood out, trying to gather myself, not believing what just happened, and the rain was falling, and all that. So I stepped out of the car, people parked, and they were like, oh, is this guy okay? And then when they saw that I came out unscathed, they started going. And then nothing, absolutely nothing happened to that car. I drove out of that ditch, with some effort, and I drove home, of course, obviously, shivering and shaking. But I thank God, because if I look back, to this very moment, I imagine that if anything had happened, maybe I would be having a limp, maybe I would be on a wheelchair, maybe would have had to replace a car, and all that. Everything happened miraculously. God delivered me from grave danger. There are theories as to what happened. Some say maybe a diesel tanker, poured diesel on the road, because it was strange how you could be driving, a car, your treading is okay, the tires are good, and then you just have that kind of accident. So I thank God for, safeguarding my life. I'm alive today, and that's my other testimony. I would never forget that day. God absolutely delivered me.
Oh, congratulations. Happy birthday once again.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you spoke about God's deliverance from danger. We are definitely going to continue from that with more miraculous stories about God's deliverance from danger this coming Friday.
Thank you for watching our first video on God's deliverance from danger and God's work in the lives of His people. This is the Moving Miracles channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our video. And more importantly, we would like to hear if God has done a miracle in your life, if He secured you from danger or any other kind of miracle He may have done in your life. Please share with us in the comment section. We'd like to share your miracle, your story with the world on this channel. Thank you for watching. God bless you.